Schumacher was perhaps one of the first Western economists who wrote an essay called Buddhist Economics, which represented his view that economics by itself is not enough. You have to have a spiritual values, some kind of ethical values as a basis to build your economics. So that symbolically is the important message that this college is based upon, which is that without spiritual values, ethical values, human values, we cannot create a society which is sustainable and which is satisfactory. I would say at Schumacher College, we are looking at a new world view, what roughly people call a new paradigm, a new emerging culture. Therefore, we don't compartmentalize knowledge. We study here as if all disciplines and all aspects of life were interconnected and interrelated. But particularly, we take aspects like Gaia. Now, this is a new James Lovelock's hypothesis about the whole earth as being one living organism. Now, that is an important thing that we study here, because that, in a way, is important because no other university seriously considers Gaia as a scientific hypothesis worth studying. Then we take subjects like economics, and we see how you can create economics which is ecological, which is sustainable, which is durable, which is spiritually and ethically based. So we have ecological economics. We have architecture and values, because it is not enough to build houses which will house the bodies. We have to have architecture which will house human beings, body and soul. So we have aspects like deep ecology, because the kind of environmentalism at the moment being practiced and being studied in universities is very shallow environmentalism, very much based on the management ethics, that we have to manage the environment. Here we are looking into deep ecology, which means what is the harmonious relationship between human world and the natural world. We study here permaculture. Now, that is a new discipline developed by an Australian farmer and engineer called Bill Mollison. Now, everything you do has to have a sense of permanence, a sense of continuity, like the American Indians thought that whatever action you take, you should consider the seventh generation. So that is the agriculture of permanence. So subjects of that kind we have here, which we consider totally interrelated and new disciplines which other universities won't touch. We find teachers from all over the world. We find people who have dedicated their lives for the study and investigation of ecological questions, ecological values, ecological issues. So people like, I mentioned James Lovelock. Now, he was our first scholar in residence. Then we had somebody like Hazel Henderson, who is an economist in Schumacherian mode. We had Manfred Maxneff, we have Vandana Shiva, we have Helena Norberg-Hodge, we have Matthew Fox. We have people who are masters in their field, people who have studied a particular theme, a particular area of interest for 10 years, 20 years, people who have written books about it, people who are deeply committed to what they are teaching. So we select teachers from all over the world, India, United States, Germany, England, wherever they are, for their skill to communicate and their depth of understanding. Now you asked who comes here. That is, again, a very cross-section of people. People come from all over the world. As I said in my introduction, from 50 different countries, participants have come here to take courses. They are engineers, they are doctors, there are professors, lecturers, teachers, particularly lecturers and professors from universities. because the kind of discussions and dialogue and deliberations we have here are very, very useful for these lecturers to learn and go back to teach their students in their classes and universities. So people have come from all over the world, and of course people who are coming here having 4 or 5 weeks in a residential setting, that is very, very important. It is not just the lecturers who are teaching the particular knowledge. It is the whole atmosphere, the whole lifestyle of Schumacher College, which is based on a learning process. The normal approach, your study is very much based on academic knowledge, on books, on compartmentalized subjects. Students will live in their hall of residence. They will come in the morning at 10 o'clock to hear a lecture, and after the lecture they will go back to their hall of residence, and they have no real connection with anything else. Whereas here, the whole life of the college is a learning process, which begins at 7 o'clock in the morning, when people who are here will spend half an hour meditating. This is very important to give a good grounding for your day. So all the activities, all the lectures, all the discussions emerge out of this basic meditative, contemplative silence of the morning. Then, after breakfast, for 1 hour, all participants, rich, poor, educated, whatever background they have, men, women, everybody will take part in work. Now, work is an essential way of learning. Without that, I think just words will not teach us anything. So people will go to gardens and work in the garden with the soil. Some people will go, according to their rota, into the kitchen, and they will work to chop vegetables and prepare soups and prepare other things for lunch. Then some people will go and clean the toilets and the building, and sweeping the floor, hoovering, because it is no good discussing important ideas when somebody else is cleaning your toilets and making your beds and cleaning your sheets. So work is as important as lectures. Then, of course, a sense of community. It is not just listening the lecturers who are the scholars, who are the teachers, learning from each other. People who are in the college have come with different backgrounds, different cultures, somebody from India, somebody from America, somebody from South America, somebody from Africa. Now they all share their knowledge and make a networking atmosphere and as a sense of community. And that is very important. So I would say the process of learning involves silence, meditation, it involves work, it involves sense of community, it involves learning through lectures. Oh, and then we have very good library where people are able to use that library, a very good resource. So it is a total process, living your knowledge in your daily life. Schumacher College is quite a unique place because there are very few places where people can go without any particular partisan sort of message. We don't hold any partisan approach. We don't say this is the truth, we know it, and we want to propagate it. We want people to come here with an open mind. It is a place of inquiry. It is a place of dialogue. It is not a place of teaching dogma. So that is a uniqueness. The other uniqueness of Schumacher College is that it is a long-term course place. Sometimes you go to places where you can go for a weekend or an evening lecture or few days. But here you come for 3 weeks, 4 weeks or 5 weeks. And that length of time gives you sufficient opportunity to relax, to unwind yourself, to replenish yourself, to replenish your mind and your heart and your soul and your body as well, because you need rest and you need nurturing and nourishing yourself. So it is a time of a place. Schumacher College is a place for replenishment and rest as much as it is for learning. However, there are other centers, like in the United States, New York Open Center is connected with us. We are negotiating with institutions like the Naropa Institute or the Californian Institute for Integral Studies. So centers of that kind have a close affinity with Schumacher College, and we work with them and together. The new kind of society that I have in my mind is a society which is sustainable. At the moment, we have built an industrial society which cannot last for very long because we are using resources as if we have unlimited planet, unlimited resources. And as a result, the earth is being poisoned, the rainforests are disappearing, the ozone layer is a problem, the warming of the climate and global warming is the problem. So all these symptoms suggest that the kind of economic growth and industrial lifestyle we have built over the last few hundred years cannot go on. It is not something which is sustainable. So the new society we want to build, and that is the discussion. As I said, we have no blueprint. We have no fixed dogmatic idea. We are investigating, we are exploring, we are finding out. This is the place to find out what kind of new society we should have, which will be sustainable, which will have a harmonious relationship between the human beings and natural world. That is the new kind of society where your spiritual values, your human values, your ecological values, your relationship with trees and with forests and with the land is such that it has a sense of permanence, it has a sense of continuity, it has a sense of sustainability. That is the new society that we want to create. I am not a pessimist. I am optimist. I believe that human ingenuity has no bounds. And when we will realize that the kind of lifestyle we are living cannot be sustained, our hearts will change and our minds will change. And out of that change of heart and mind, our values will change. And when we have our changed values, we will create new kind of tools, new kind of methods of agriculture, new kinds of methods of production of other goods which we require, like house, like clothes, like transportation. All those things can be created in a way that is sufficiently comfortable. People can enjoy, people can have celebration of life, people can have celebration of nature, and have good relationship between people, and not so hectic, not so pressurized, not such a rat race that the industrial society has given us. I'm optimist. It will happen.